All right, we'll move on to Thursday night football last night, where the Dallas Cowboys somewhat got back on track as they defeat the New Orleans Saints 27-17. The Cowboys now 8-4. Dak Prescott 238 passing yards, one touchdown, one interception. Ezekiel Elliott 45 yards on the ground. They got a 58-yard touchdown run from Tony Pollard. CeeDee Lamb led the receiving corps, 7 catches, 89 yards. And Micah Parsons picked up his 10th sack last night. The Saints, meanwhile, that was their 5th consecutive loss. They're dealing with quarterback issues. Taysom Hill making his first start of the season last night. 19 for 41, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. 96 yards and a touchdown for Deontay Harris. And P.J. Williams, he had himself a sack. Looking at some of these statistics, there's just not a whole lot of names for the Saints that I'd really care to mention. I got to be honest with you. Drake, the Cowboys getting back on track, so to speak. But was this the type of performance you were looking for to get the Cowboys back in that conversation of those top 5 teams that we've had most of the year?
Absolutely not. Let's go ahead and call it what it is. The result was about what we thought it was going to be. Listen, we knew the Cowboys were a team that was capable of beating a bad team, but we also knew the Cowboys was a team that was capable of losing to a bad team. And I think for the most part, I know me and you participate in a league where we give up our picks and we set our scores. And I think in that league, for the most part, everybody had Dallas somewhat, low 20s, early 30s. And then they had the Saints low, 15, somewhere in the 15 to 17 area. So I think the game went somewhat on par like we thought it would. Now, with that said, it shouldn't have went that way. It should have been 40 to 17 out this piece, because the Saints, for what it's worth, I mean, the defense played pretty decently, I thought, but that was it. That offense was in there. Listen, Taysom Hill was giving it the old college try out there, and I know, to your credit, you were saying how well he played in the first half. But, I mean, that first half got a mega offset when you get to the second half, because he went out there and stunk the joint up in the second half when it came to passing. Now, like I told you earlier, it was this little part, in the third quarter, beginning of the fourth, where they had some run game going on, and the crowd was getting into it. And I thought that looked really good when they was doing the quarterback draws and the RPO type looks. And I was like, okay, this could work for a short period of time, but it can work, right? But outside of that, I mean, what the hell did the guy have? I mean, he threw for 264 yards. I mean, a QBR of 28.4. Holla at your boy on that. But he did have 11 carries for 101 yards. That's more of a Lamar Jackson type thing right there. And that was the offense. I'm sorry, folks. That was the offense. Mark Ingram, 10 carries for 28 yards. Yeah. That's beautiful. Harris, 4 catches for 96 yards, 1 touchdown. LeJordan Humphrey, 2 receptions, 49 yards for 1 touchdown. That is the offense, folks. That's it. Bar none. I don't got nobody else to give you. That was the offense. So the Saints, for what it's worth, the Dallas Cowboys was more talented, and that's what we seen. But it was nothing in that game that you seen that made you think, hey, Cowboys, they back to elite status in the NFC, baby. They back to elite status. They up there with the Packers and the Rams and the Bucks. No, we didn't see none of that. We just seen the Cowboys win a game that they should have won because the Saints are in there on offense. Taysom Hill is not going to get it done in any form or fashion as a passer. Let's call it what it is. Even if Mike Thomas was still out there, even if, Alvin Kamara was still out there, he's not getting it done, folks. It's a reason why in his extension for his contract, they put all these clauses in there, and they said, oh, you can maximize this contract if you are QB1 and you win X amount of games, because they know what time it is. He was just a QB1 last night. How'd that work out for you? So they knew what was going on when they made that contract. That's what we seen last night. Now, to actually talk about the Cowboys, I'm going to tell you right now, I expect them more. I just expect them more. Listen, I don't know I know last week or 2 weeks ago they was without C.D. Lamb and Amari Cooper, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt in that game. Like, okay, well, you don't have both of these guys, so the passing game will fall off a little bit. I don't know what the hell the excuse was last night. You had C.D. Lamb, you had Amari Cooper, you had Michael Gallup, you had Dawson Schultz, you had your guys. What's the problem? And you only throw for 238, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and you had a whopping 38.3 QBR day. What's the problem here? I forgot the Saints got that shutdown secondary with a no-fly zone, Legion of Boom back there. I forgot about that. So maybe I missed that. Maybe I missed that part of the promo when they was promoting this game, because Dak was that's not it for me. And then you got Zeke out here, clearly hobbled, clearly not himself. 13 carries for 45 yards. Let's go ahead and pack him up. Let's go ahead, put him on injury reserve or something. Go ahead, get him up out of here. Let him go heal, because clearly he's not healthy. Give Tony Pollard, you only gave him 7 carries, 71 yards. We know most of that. I think it was a 58-yard touchdown he scored. Most of that came off that touchdown run. But you got to give him more carries if you're going to do it that way. I didn't think the offensive line was in up last night. I thought they was playing well. I just, I think it was a little harder for Tony Pollard to get the engine going because he's smaller. But, when he got his opportunity, he took it. But, no, to answer your question, Jay, when the best thing I can say about you is Anthony Brown had 10 tackles, Anthony Brown didn't get torched. He didn't get, they didn't hit him with the old golden corral, eat all you can eat over there. When that's the best thing I can say, I mean, I don't know. Michael Parsons had a good game, but Michael Parsons always have a good game. You need a little more than Michael Parsons on the defense, clearly, because he does his job. He's probably a mile ahead of anybody that's in the Defensive Rookie of the Year category. But it does not matter. It does not matter, because if this is the product you rolling out here, you shouldn't even gave up 17 points to the Saints, if I'm being honest. But either way, this team is not in the top echelons of the AFC. They're probably in the middle of the pack. They could make their way up there at some point. Oh, by the way, I have to say, this game was coached by the defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. I think they kept slapping with the interim head coach tag, which I thought that was only given when they fired the head coach. But whatever. I did like the energy I seen with those guys, interacting with him last night. They seemed to be out there a little jovial, but that's always how it is when the head coach is gone for, a game or two. The guy gets to step in and, woo, yeah. But, things will get back in order when Mike McCarthy get back. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'll say this. No, the Cowboys did not show me anything that made me think they're back with the elites. Not quite yet.
Yeah, I wasn't that impressed by the Cowboys' performance either. Saints just this offense just isn't very talented. When Alvin Kamara does not play and Michael Thomas is not, played the entire season, that's their two weapons. And last year you had Sanders, you had Jared Cook, you had a couple more, at least notable, name guys. They name brands at least. These guys got a great value feel to them, and it just ain't that much value in there. I mean, I'd like to know, like, if I'm Dan Quinn, I'd like to know, Dan Quinn, who did you prepare for this week? Deontay Harris, was that who you prepared for? Traquan Smith, maybe? Oh, I know who it was. It was Kenny Stills, wasn't it? Kenny Stills. This Saints offense just don't have a lot. I mean, Mark Ingram's old. Taysom Hill. I mean, I thought Taysom Hill was doing okay, and then the second half rolled around. He just can't stop throwing the ball to the other team. I mean, when you out here throwing a kind of, I don't know what he was doing, throwing a hitch route or throwing a drag or something, you throw it right to the defensive lineman. I mean, this ain't good, folks. This ain't good. Right. Sean Payton's just like,
yeah, what I'm supposed to do with this? What I'm supposed to do with this?
But you look at what they did. They racked up over 400 yards, and they just there ain't nobody on that offense that I look at and is like, man, I'm scared of that dude. He can hurt us. Who? There's no one. Like they
Right.
got Ty Montgomery. Are you serious? The dude that Aaron Rodgers kicked out of Green Bay like 4 years ago. For what I don't even remember what he did to get kicked out of there. Like, but Lord God, it's just I would have expected more. I would have expected a more dominating performance, especially from the Cowboys defense. But I mean, they gave up over 400 yards. They were opportunistic. Michael Parsons is a bad dude. I think he will wind up winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. I wouldn't completely wrap it up yet. I mean, I know Patrick Surtain's having a heck of a year out in Denver. That's the other guy I'd throw in there that would be in the mix. But yeah, I mean, Trayvon Diggs gets his 9th interception last night. I mean, they took the ball away from New Orleans, but even so, like, I mean, Taysom Hill 100 yards on the ground. Yeah, okay, but it wasn't clean, Drink. It wasn't a clean performance. I mean, they should have got these guys out of there in a hurry. But it was 13-10 early in the third, early-ish in the third quarter, and then they get a Tony Pollard run that kind of broke the game open. But New Orleans was in this thing for a long time, and then until late in the second half, into the fourth quarter, when they just turned the ball over repeatedly. The Cowboys should have done more, and really this offense. Dak Prescott's QBR has been under 50 for 3 straight games. Yeah, it's definitely concerning. Last time, I like this Saints defense, I really do, but I mean, I don't know if they should be holding the Cowboys down to this degree. I mean, it wasn't clean offensively either. And you talk about CeeDee Lamb back, Amari Cooper back, but they got a problem with this running game. And I know it appears that Zeke's hurt. He's not 100%. And you may be right. They might have just sit him down and let Tony Pollard shoulder the load for a little bit. Because Tony Pollard can make things happen for you, as he displayed last night. He can hit the home run. The way Zeke is out here, gotten a hitch in his step, like he not running very far. It's how many times. This is something that I found interesting. There was a couple carries last night that he had where he had a lot of room, and he's over there like sauntering, just like, oh, let me get to the sideline. I ain't trying to hit nobody right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not confident in Dallas. When you look at them and you compare them to especially Green Bay right now, even Arizona, even with their problems stopping the running game, you know, and I'm gonna say even the Rams, like I think the Rams are gonna wind up being better than Dallas. This performance by Dallas against a Saints team that is just reeling, and they on their third quarterback. There ain't a whole lot the Saints can get excited about, and especially when you know Alvin Kamara, that's the offense. Yeah, I really thought Dallas should have done more in this game.